Hey, are you worried what's going to happen on January 15 when WD is disabling internet access to devices that cannot be upgraded to OS5? Then you probably should watch that video. So you probably received the email just like I did, and I have WD EX Ultra, EX2 Ultra, and they're saying that the internet will be disabled for this device because this is one of the models on the list of affected devices. So what does it actually mean? What are the affected devices, and is it as bad as it sounds? So the affected devices are all Cloud series NASs. So this includes MyCloud PR4100, Mirror series, and so on. I'll put the screen the full list. And not necessarily if the device is affected, the access to internet will be disabled of that day. The trick is that if you can install OS5, then you are just fine. So if we break this down, this list, that actually there are only 4 models that will cease to exist basically after January 15, and you will need to get a new NAS, and those are MyCloud 1 bay, MyCloud Mirror, which is 2 bay, MyCloud EX2 and MyCloud EX4. So those with no Ultra in the model number, so simple ones. So those are basically 2 models, actually, 1 and 2 bay option, 2 bay options, but there are only 2 models. But that will need to be replaced. So what do WD recommend to replace them with is new MyCloud Home series. So even if there is OS3, they managed to somehow update those models because they're actually relatively new models, those home models. So they're saying if you have MyCloud NAS, you should upgrade to MyCloud Home or MyBook. They're saying if you have MyCloud Mirror or EX2, EX4, you should upgrade to MyCloud EX2 Ultra or MyBook. But if you have lost all your confidence into WD, then you probably would want to consider replacing them to a completely different brand like Synology or QNAP. So to make it easier for you to understand what sort of device would be a good alternative to your existing NAS, because if you are happy with the performance already, then you might want to get a new NAS which is similar hardware, so which means it's going to perform very similar. So I'll give you alternatives on the Synology side. So if you would have PR series NAS, PR2 bay or 4 bay, then you would probably look at quad-core Celeron based models like DS720, which is 2 bay model, or DS920, which is 4 bay model. If you have EX2 or EX4 model numbers, that would be comparable with some Synology J series NASs. So 2 bay NAS would be DS220J and 4 bay would be DS420J. If you have DL series models of your WD, then you would need to replace something with dual core Celeron, something similar like that, because those are atom based models. So you would look at as a 2 bay DS220 plus or DS420 plus as a 4 bay model. And if you have MyCloud Mirror, like Gen 2 series, then you could replace those with like DS120J or DS220J. That would be similar spec alternative. Then the next question would be, how do you update your NAS? So if you have one of those NASs that can actually have an OS5 on it, you can, I'll put a link as well somewhere in the description where you can go and download a new firmware manually and upload it. And also I'll put on the screen how to do it. Simple steps. So you'll need to download the firmware, you need to upload it, you'll need to log into your admin panel. You will need to be somewhere in the local area, local network area, to be able to get into admin panel of your NAS. And once you have installed the new firmware manually, once you log in, it will give you an option to upgrade to OS5. So once you have done that, you are not going to lose access to your internet, which is cool. But people are asking like, what are the changes, because they got used to OS3, they installed their apps and stuff. With OS5 they are disabling things like AB file, AMU and Fortress, and I'll put the full list on the screen so I don't need to read. And if you need any third-party apps for OS5, there are certain apps available like PHP BB, MyCloud OS5 App Store, Amazon S3, and I'll put the list again there on the link as well, but you can find it. So it's not as bad as it sounds again. So WD is stopping a support. After April they will completely stop any firmware updates. So the last firmware update you'll get is going to be disconnecting itself from the internet. So technically, if you don't update it, you might be able to connect, but you probably won't. You might, if you have Atom-based WD, you might be able to install Docker still, and on the Docker you can install something like OwnCloud or something similar like that, which would give you access to your NAS without using this OS5 mobile app or internet portal. So you could set up port forwarding and connect directly to your NAS and use this app to manage your files, upload and download. That would be one way of doing this. But if you don't have Docker available on your WD, you will need to think about either upgrading your NAS, or if you have a chance, then update your firmware. I hope this video was helping to understand how these devices are affected, and it's not as bad as it sounds. If you've got any questions, you can always go to NAS Compares, fill the form, send an email to us, or comment down below. And if the question will be interesting, we're always going to shoot a video helping you and help others as well. So cheerio.